See, this is why you don't fuck with edibles. It always feels like nothing, and then like you could communicate with the squirrels that live behind your house. It's so cute. Yolanda is so cute. I would 100% have a crush on her. Yolanda's apartment is nice and looks about the way you expected it to. You check out the small stack of books on the side table while Yolanda goes into her room to grab her phone charger. It's all poetry books. Alice Walker, June Jordan, Jupiter Hammond. Maya Angelou is the only one with a name you recognize, though you haven't actually ever read anything by her. Yolanda comes back in with a charger and a little baggie.
You smoke?
Not really. I used to, but I'm not actually that good at it. I suck at inhaling. It also makes you paranoid, but you don't really want to talk about that.
I got edibles, actually. I don't smoke much either. Or at least I try not to.
Okay. You say it before you can talk yourself out of it. Honestly, the paranoia usually isn't that bad, and it's not like you're gonna do much damage here. Oh.
Edibles hit so much harder, though.
Edibles do hit different, and also, if you are a person who wants to take recreational drugs, then one of the very important things to taking drugs safely is, like, being open of, like, things like this.
Yeah, telling the people around you the way it affects you, and not necessarily doing it in a space where you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah. Usually when you get paranoid, half of it comes from doom scrolling.
Eat half the gummy.
Yeah. You eat the gummy she offers you and sit down on the couch. It's a way nicer couch than yours, and you doubt anyone has spent all day on it lying around sweatily. Yolanda puts on some music, something cool and trippy that you're neither cool nor trippy enough to recognize. She sits down next to you and notices you looking at her stack of books.
I promise you I read them. They're not just there to make me look smart.
I mean, you do.
Huh?
Look smart, I mean. Yolanda laughs.
Oh, thanks. So do you?
Hey, thanks. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Well, the nicest thing anyone has said to me today. Yolanda snorts and opens a can of LaCroix. LaCroix.
With a K. Because it's not actually LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Oh, do you want one? Just, people make fun of me for drinking it, so I always forget to offer.
I remember we had LaCroix
discussions. Yeah.
I'm good. I think LaCroix tastes like a vague suggestion. But you do you.
See? Everyone is so mean.
Yolanda would drink LaCroix. What? She just really seems like the type. It fits her perfectly. Whatever that type is, you're not actually sure.
Someone who has a fish hat.
Someone who has a fish hat and drinks LaCroix.
And writes poetry.
Yeah, there's... I don't get it.
No, nothing matches them together.
I don't get it. You wonder vaguely if you are her type, but then you reason that it doesn't actually matter. But, like, of course you're not. You don't really think you're anyone's type.
Maybe the sort of type that she's putting together is, like, Californian?
Poetry, LaCroix, fish hat.
Sea
Poetry
vibes.
and LaCroix, yes.
Maybe beach vibes.
Yeah, that, like, LA, like, vibe of being, like... liberal and artsy,
yeah,
and beachy,
and then has moved to Jersey City.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I pretty much constantly fantasize about moving to LA as if that would fix my problems. So, I don't know what that says about me. But of course, it doesn't matter because you don't care. That's not why you're here. Fuck, you've just been staring at her like an idiot.
You good?
No. Yeah, I was just thinking it's actually super easy to make infused seltzer. Like agua fresca. I don't know what any of this means. Like just sparkling water and fruit. It tastes way better than the stuff you get in cans. Not that there's anything wrong with getting stuff in cans. I should do a show on agua fresca now that I'm thinking about it.
A show?
Oh, I have an Instagram channel where I do cooking lives. Stuff like that. You pull out your phone and bring up your page. You've got a ton of comments that Alex hasn't managed to go through yet, and a couple of DMs. People trying to correct your technique, calling you a bitch, or offering you a bad promotional deals.
Classic.
Sounds about right.
Ooh.
She takes your phone and flicks through your gallery.
Oh my god, you're that Inaya. Alex has talked about you before. He works for you, doesn't he?
It definitely is different, like, going through the scene when we know the context.
Yeah, definitely. The fact
of,
that she's just here to charge her phone.
Yeah.
Presumably.
Yeah. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Kind of, yeah, he moderates for me. I'm not like his boss or anything.
I don't know why I didn't think about it before. I guess I just think of you as Naya because, you know.
Naya's noms.
Yeah!
The name is stupid. It was just a joke. I didn't expect it to turn into a whole brand.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, that's why I don't like it. Yolanda tips her head over to the side, looking at you.
You don't like being cute?
You shrug. I mean, baby chickens are cute. Little dogs with bows in their hair are cute. 6-foot-tall Pakistani girls are not cute.
Incorrect.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to, like, fish for compliments or anything. That just came out way too honest there.
No, it's okay. Sorry if I said something to upset you.
No, you didn't. It's just... I don't know. I've had a weird day. Yolanda tips her head to the side to show that she's listening. I mean, it's actually not been a weird day. It's been a totally normal day. I was stressed out at work. Then I went out and hung out with a friend at a social event. That's a normal thing to do, but it's kind of unusual for me. I don't get out much, and I definitely don't go to poetry readings.
Because they're corny?
You wince. I would apologize.
I would apologize too, especially as she referenced it twice now.
Sorry about that. I definitely did not mean to yell it across the goddamn room. To your extreme relief, Yolanda is smiling.
It's cool. I'm just teasing. I know poetry isn't everybody's thing, and it's true a lot of amateur stuff is really fucking bad. I worry that my stuff is bad all the time.
What? Are you kidding? You're fantastic. I mean, I know I just said that I don't know anything about poetry, but even I can tell that.
Right, I know that I'm good, but also I worry that I just think I am. Like, am I actually just like that girl with the birdfucker boyfriend? I think I'm being real deep, but actually I'm just boring everyone with my terrible emotions.
I understand that. I guess my job never really has me asking that, because obviously there's people willing to sub and donate, so I know people like my stuff. Well, I don't know if we will feel differently about this if we ever get, like, big, but personally, even though there are people who literally give us money, I always get imposter syndrome.
Yeah, same. Same. I'm always, like, so shocked when people decide to do nice things.
Yeah, or people are like, this work that you made is really good, or like, we want to work with you, or we want to give you money to do this stuff. I'm always like,
or we want to wear your t-shirt in public.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
Yeah. You sure?
You sure? Are you 100% certain? Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, I think based on kind of just even, like, other YouTubers and, like, internet famous people talking about it, I think that doesn't go away for a lot of people. I think it depends on the person, obviously.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the person. I think it sucks that, like, it not going away is often the sign of someone not being an asshole as well. Because some people are just like, yeah, I know I'm good.
And they're usually dickheads.
Yeah.
They are usually dickheads.
Like, I wish no one had to feel imposter syndrome, but the people who admit to it, like, I don't know, maybe it's just that parasocial relationship talking, but, like...
And I think people... I swear to God, people either have too much confidence or not enough. Like I feel like you so rarely meet people that have found that sweet spot.
Yeah,
of just
like,
the right amount of confidence,
yeah.
but also the right amount of like humility.
Yeah, who are like, I know that I'm good at what I do, but there are some things that I put a lot of work into, and I'm really proud when they turn out well, and like I take every compliment.
But also, like, I know my limits, and I know there are things I don't know, but I don't think that that's a reflection on me being like a failure or a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, who...
It's a goal to work towards,
Yeah.
or I can just not do that, and that's fine, because I don't have to be able to do everything.
Because I'm a human being. Yeah, like, people, like, when do you like, meet people who have the right balance of, like, humility and confidence?
No idea.
No. But then that becomes the whole way I have to tell if I'm doing good, right? Like, if the subs go down, I think, well, I'm not as good as I used to be.
That is one thing that I feel like we haven't felt as much. Mostly because, like, Game Assist isn't our main thing. But, like, you know, when I see subs go... We do it sometimes with patrons, but, like, when we see subs go down or patrons go down, a lot of the time I don't think, like, oh, it's because they don't like us. I often think, like, oh, people aren't in the financial position to support us anymore. And that's, like, sucks for us, but I hope they're okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really see subs go down except for, like, one sub occasionally.
Yeah.
We see our sub numbers steadily creep up or stay the same, pretty much. I think a lot of bigger channels experience, like, these big, like, drops sometimes.
Especially when
numbers.
YouTube does its, like, biannual, like, deletion of inactive channels, and people lose a bunch of subs because it was people who'd subbed to them ages ago and, like, weren't actually using their channels. Yeah.
So one of many reasons why we're so on top of giving you that weekly content.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is interesting though, because in terms of her character, because, like, I guess it plays into the themes of, like, she doesn't really seem to have, like, an internal kind of source of self-worth, right? She seems to, the live streaming, I feel like for them, it's like a thing of the external, like, validation.
Yeah.
Because they think so poorly
Yeah.
themselves.
So they're like, I can look at this, like, clearly definable metric and know that I have some worth.
These numbers equals I have some worth as a person. I'm not a bad person.
Yeah, it's like back at school determining your worth by your grades.
Yeah.
It's like just the same thing but moving to a different platform.
Yeah, definitely. And I can, like, so relate to this.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've definitely, like, been conditioned to measure my worth in terms of, like, academic or professional success.
Yep.
And that's been something that I've been trying to, like, unlearn, for sure.
Same.
Struggle with it a lot. If that makes sense.
It makes sense. Blah blah blah, gig economy, blah blah.
Politics. Yeah. Yolanda's hand is between the two of you on the couch. Without meaning to, you've inched closer together. Wow, okay, this hadn't been the plan, but whatever. Almost without realizing what you're doing, you start tracing your fingers across the back of her hand, appreciating how slender her fingers look beneath yours.
They're both like, ooh.
Ooh. Yolanda. Silence.
Inaya.
Wow, you're more stoned than you thought you were. See, this is why you don't fuck with edibles. It always feels like nothing, and then like you could communicate with the squirrels that live behind your house. So true. So real.
Thanks, Marchin.
Well, the lesbian flag is over there.
There's lighting on Inaya's side.
You kiss her before you can think better of it. She makes a brief noise of surprise before her mouth opens against yours and she leans into you a little. This is like the sexy music.
Yeah.
As you could have predicted, her mouth does not taste like anything because neither does LaCroix. She makes a little sigh, like capitulation, like a shrug, and climbs into your lap. Her hands rest on your shoulders almost politely. You try to remember why you started to kiss her, why you'd even pushed the car down this fucking hill when you have no idea where it's gonna go. Not that you don't know what you're doing. You've hooked up with girls before. But you can see this trajectory as plain as day. You'll kiss some, maybe mess around, and then what? It'll be awkward. You're gonna fuck it up. A perfectly good friendship, and you've gone and ruined it by starting down a road you're not prepared to drive down. Fuck, why do you always do this? Why can't you just have casual sex like a normal fucking person?
We definitely talked about this last time.
We did, but something that occurred to me as well is how interesting it is to the visual is like two women kissing.
Yeah.
Also, insert my appreciation for women of color.
Munching.
Yes. Beautiful. But what was I gonna say? Yeah, visual women kissing. Words. Here are all the things I hate about myself.
Yeah.
I think that that's interesting because of, I guess it's an interesting subversion of like how it, and I mean it's not like the visual was particularly like sexual or anything, but obviously like so much of the time when we see like women as sapphics, like in media, like having like sexual, like engaging with each other sexually, it's framed in that way, like in an objectifying, like titillating way. And in this, to be like, oh, I'm looking at two women kissing, but then I'm like reading / hearing this like self-deprecating inner monologue is interesting. I don't really have any analysis of that at this current moment, but I just wanted to point out that that's interesting.
You don't see it very often elsewhere.
No, I yeah, it's just occurred to me as being interesting because it feels like it might be playing with that, like we're like subverting the way that we usually see women kissing. Yeah. But anyway. You put your hands on Yolanda's shoulders, gently pushing her back. I can't do this. I hate myself too much.
Are you okay?
You bite your lip. God, why did you do that? Hey,
yeah.
This is funky. Hey, your breathing shakes. You're usually so good at talking. Why can you never get anything out in situations like this? Every inch of you thrums with the desire to just throw her off you and run. Wouldn't be the first time.
Hey.
She touches your face, not amorously. The touch is just comforting.
Hey, it's okay.
You snort because it doesn't feel okay. You wish you hadn't kissed her. You wish you hadn't come here. You wish you hadn't left your fucking apartment. Fuck Alex. This is all his fucking fault. The fear of human connection is real.
Ugh.
I'm sorry.
For what?
You look at her, convinced she's making fun of you.
You haven't done anything wrong. Unless you did and just haven't told me about it yet, but I don't know you very well. So if you robbed a bank or something, that's fine. I won't snitch.
You laugh. It sounds watery even though you aren't crying. I just shouldn't have done that. I do this thing where I think I want something from somebody, and I do. I think. I do want it. But then there's a part of my brain that doesn't want it either. And that part gets wrapped up all around all the other parts that do want it. And then it just makes everything into this half-wanting, half-scared mess, and I feel sick. Yolanda doesn't say anything. If that makes any sense.
I'll be honest. It doesn't.
Horror creeps through you. Fuck, you just made it worse. You figured she might be okay with meaningless babbling since she's a poet and all. Not that her poetry was meaningless babbling. At least you aren't saying any of this out loud. You aren't saying anything at all.
But that's fine. If you don't want to make out, we don't have to.
She's so it.
Yeah.
I love Yolanda. Your laugh just gets waterier. You probably think I'm a psycho.
I think you're stoned and tired and kind of sad.
She rolls off you and sits back down next to you on the couch.
Inaya, it's fine. I was only kissing you back because honestly, I'm not very good at saying no to people.
She focuses very hard on the lamp across the room. It is a pretty nice lamp. Oh, so you were just being nice to me? You're not sure how that feels. Worse, but also better somehow? So I guess what this really means is we're both assholes. Yolanda gives you a swift look that breaks into a startled grin.
Yeah, I guess we are.
She squeezes your thigh.
You're alright, Miss Noms. I fuck with you.
Thanks, I fuck with you too. Wow, you really are stoned. And for the record, you don't have to be scared to say no to me. I'll even leave if you want me to. Yolanda shakes her head.
You don't need to leave. Like I said, you're good. That can just be a thing we tried that didn't work.
An inexpressible wave of gratitude rolls over you. The realization that Yolanda is in fact not some test or quick-time event.
Oh my god! We see!
That you have to pass or fail. She is a person to whom you can explain your thoughts and actions, not a faceless wall of text. Or a cold algorithm. I've been reading a lot about sex and romance in games at the moment because I've been working on something very exciting. And it is interesting that they bring this up because, well, we talked about this a bit in our Bisexuality as a Game Mechanic video, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of, like, the way that games frame, like, romance and sexuality is, like, if you know the correct answers and you have the correct formula, then you will win.
Yeah.
You will win the sex, or you will win the romantic relationship. And that is not how that works at all. And the idea that the fact that they're like commenting on that is good content. And clearly they are kind of like trying to engage in a conversation about that.
Yeah.
But it kind of raises some questions for me about I guess that a lot of the games where that is the case is like it's probably like more RPG type games. I think visual novels are responsible for it too, actually. I feel like a lot of like romance visual novels, like dating sims.
Yeah, Arcade Spirits definitely is.
Yeah, I think a lot of them are. Like, if you choose the correct dialogue option or whatever.
Like, Arcade Spirits has the option to turn the thing that tells you whether you're picking the right one on or off. So you can just, like, vibe. But if you turn it on, then you can, like, make sure they all fit, like, 6 different emotions of, like, text, and, like, each character prefers a different one. So you can, like, gamify it that way, but you can turn that option off and just pick the one that feels right to you.
It's interesting that as well because even so, because of like the algorithmic nature of that romance, which still kind of encodes the idea that if you choose the correct thing in terms of dialogue, whatever, that you will win the romance or the sex. The kind of, I guess, like wider gaming culture comes into it because people will make walkthroughs online and like game guides of like, this is how to romance this character or like things like that. And the way that they're commenting on like, oh, people like it's actually like a lot more complicated than that, but they're doing it through the visual novel form is interesting because I guess for me it raises some questions about like the replayability of this and like the implications of some of the choices we're making.
Yeah.
Because so far I don't really feel like they've been like major choices. I wonder how much they'd impact this path.
Yeah. I mean, we saw from the little menu at the start that different characters have like quite a big selection of different endings. I think potentially more endings than there are characters. So that would suggest that there are different ways to end certain scenarios, but who knows?
Saying no now doesn't mean you have to say no forever. Well, maybe not with Yolanda, you probably burned the sex-having bridge for this situation, but with other people. You don't, in fact, have to make the same mistakes again and again, like some wind-up toy set on a trajectory of failure. This is so meta. You could meet someone new at any time. Anything could happen, and for now, you'll be happy to chill with a friend. And that's pretty cool. Half a gummy into a new friendship.
So presumably this would be...
Achievement unlocked.
Nice. So presumably, given the name of it, this ending would be different with a full gummy.
Interesting. Yeah, and we chose half a gummy last time as well, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Because of the same reasons of us being like, don't do it.
Okay, that's interesting. Kissing in an aquarium unlocked. Half a gummy into a new friendship. Inaya root with Ashley unlocked.
Ooh.
Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. If you aren't already, remember to subscribe and hit that bell button to know when we upload next.
On screen, you can find this whole playlist for this Let's Play, and you can find a link to our latest video essay. If you like what you see, consider supporting us on Patreon. The link to our Patreon is in the description of every video.
Thanks again so much for watching, and until next time, take care.